Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we are doing Rocky 5 by popular demand.
It's a movie. It's a movie, you son of a bitch.
Get up, you son of a bitch. That's Mickey loves you.
This movie was literally like, normally we're like, hey, this is requested by so-and-so on Patreon. This movie was requested by not only everybody on Patreon, but everybody on YouTube who watches the show.
Yeah, y'all really got excited about us reviewing this, and
yes,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. We will see what happens. But if you want to
we're
join
all
us,
about. I'm sorry. I think we're all about to learn a very big lesson about expectations.
Yes, we are 100%. But if you want to join us on Patreon to watch this review with movie clips, no ads, all of that stuff, go to Patreon, search Kiss the Reviews. We're there. We do giveaways. We got free subscriptions and paid subscriptions if you want to catch the pre-show and all of our talk about gross food things. Go to Patreon. That's a good plug, right?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
If you like the cut of our jibs, run along to Patreon and give us some money, kids.
That's it.
There's a little tap on the butt for you. Just run along now, child. Pay me.
But let's get into the cast of 1990's Rocky 5.
Feed my fucking cocaine habit.
This film stars Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa, Talia Shire as Adrian Balboa, Burt Young as Paulie, Sage Stallone as Rocky Jr., Tommy Morrison as Tommy Gunn, and Richard Gant as George Washington Duke. Only in America. Only in America. Do your thing, buddy.
Are we gonna start? Should we just start with let's just jump into it because I don't want to spoil this. I don't want to spoil this.
Okay, let's jump into it.
I've been tossing and turning about this since it was this week and leading up to this review because I'm dying to share my final critique about this movie, but also I just kind of want to get into it and see if we find anything that maybe will change my opinion.
I hear you.
Here's a tip. We won't. I don't fucking change my mind.
I don't change my mind for nothing. I'm
a straight white male over 40. I don't change my fucking mind.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
So, this movie opens as every other Rocky movie does with the fight against Drago. They just show basically Rocky getting punched in the face a million times, and then it cuts to a naked Rocky in the shower having some mental issues, and Adrian comes in. He calls her in and she consoles him as his hands are shaking and whatever. And to your point, he looked good.
He looked good. He was in Demolition because he pulled another naked thing in Demolition Man, and that's definitely a few years after this, and he kept that same shape.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Go to hims.com for more details.
They didn't pay us for that.
This is fuck, don't go to hims.com. Go to Patreon. Feed my cocaine habit. No, this is immediately where I kind of went, oh, okay. It grabbed my attention a little bit more because the last time I had seen this, and this is how long it had been, CTE wasn't a thing.
Nope.
Junior Seau wasn't a thing. That tragedy.
Nope.
The relevance around brain trauma and brain injuries was not a thing. So the last time I had seen this, I was just like, yeah, he's got the fucking shakes. He's always been fucking punchy. He's been fighting since he was 14. He's a mess.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh shit. Sly was way ahead of the game on this.
way ahead of his time. You and I had a conversation after we both rewatched this.
Yep.
Super ahead of his time, because 1990, this was still back in the day with football. It was like, oh, you just got your bell rung. Get back in there, kid. And they just slap you on the ass and send you out fucking 8 years old to get your 15th concussion. So like no like head trauma. There was jokes about it. Like, oh, if you get hit in the fucking head enough as a boxer, but it was always boxing. It was never anything else.
Right.
You would get brain damage, and they even bring it up here and call it brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for this to be like almost the center of everything was huge for 1990.
Oh yeah, and couple with the fact that he didn't overdo it.
Yeah,
Like his hands are shaking a little bit, and he, I can't get my hands to stop shaking. Like he doesn't understand it, and then he just starts kind of repeating himself, and he calls Adrian Mick. Like,
yeah. Not for nothing,
dude. This was fantastic scene.
I know this was a great scene, and I know we make fun of Sly for a lot in his career. This was well acted.
No, it really was. Everybody knew the assignment with this scene.
Yep.
And this is the important note we'll attach for the rest of this review is hire actual actors and you get actual good scenes.
Yes, absolutely.
Now let's continue with where's my dad? Jesus Christ, kid.
Oh my God. So after Rocky gets back home from Russia, they have this press conference where they talk about rumors of his issues after the fight, when out of nowhere, George Duke comes out to take over Rocky's press conference and challenge Rocky to a fight with Union Kane, because like Rocky's retiring, so now Union Kane is like, they just crown him the next champion.
Ain't never did no shit, Balboa. I'm better than you ever been, Balboa. I'll feed you this left hand right now.
Dude, get the fucking frog dick out of your mouth, pal. What in the shit is that voice?
I'll say this. I love this casting choice. This was perfect.
This was insane, dude.
Perfect for a paper champion. This was like the perfect casting choice. But
like,
this
if
is where
Snipes walks in there, he's a champion. He's gonna fuck you up.
Exactly.
Union Kane walks in there. It's like, dude, go back to fucking Nino Brown and tell him we need another re-up. That's the only thing you're doing.
If I'm Rocky, I'm like, I'd rather fight Big Daddy Kane. Get the fuck out of my face with this shit. Who are you? Yeah. I've never even seen you.
You're a middleweight talking to a fucking heavyweight, son. Take a walk.
But this is where they set up, and this, again, going back to the CTE, this is another little wrinkle Rocky threw in, or Sly threw in. I can't separate the art from the artist. This is what Sly threw in to the script, which was Don King taking all of Mike Tyson's money, the braggadocious boxing promoter, piece of shit, dirty underbelly of the boxing business.
Yep.
That is never...
These guys ruining boxing. And again, the last time I had seen it, and every time I had seen this, he just seemed like an overacting, over-the-top character.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that actual adult knowledge of, Don... We say it all the time, hindsight's 20/20. And that is the biggest fucking truest idiom that has ever existed, because it is, going back now and watching this, it's like, yo, he fucking hit CTE. He took promoters just destroying the sport in the name of cash. Yeah. And even promoting Union Kane as that paper champion instead of actually just letting, the belt go where it needs to go, who is the best fighter. Yeah. And I mean, fuck, we're still living in this shit today. That's why Jake Paul's the most famous boxer on the planet.
How sad is that? But I have one problem with this press conference. And this is why they killed off this character in the upcoming movies. So Rocky has this little meltdown after the shower, right? Or in the shower.
Yep.
Right? His brain's all fucked up. He's shaking. Nobody knows what's going on. It's Duke and it's Adrian. And by the time they leave Russia and get to fucking the United States, somebody done leaked the story. Adrian in this press conference, like he's retiring. She leaked the goddamn story. I'm just throwing that out there, and that's why they killed her off in the rest of the franchise.
Oh yeah, but Adrian is Patrick Mahomes' wife. Like that's who she is. Some busybody fucking goddamn blabbermouth and white woman that doesn't understand that you'd be working in a fucking pet shop in South Philadelphia if you didn't hit the fucking lottery.
Hell yes.
In Adrian's case, you hit the lottery because you're the only woman with an actual working brain that fell in love with somebody who was severely mentally disabled.
With a fucking caveman.
Yeah.
And
that was really to get away from Burt Young, who was about 3 days away from playing, hey, step bro, I'm stuck in the couch kind of games with you.
Hey, real bro.
That's what I need. It was a mistake. You think I thought this all was going to happen?
So afterwards, they go home and they realize here that they are broke because Paulie got duped into signing a power of attorney over to Rocky's accountant, who lost all of his money in this real estate deal, didn't pay his taxes in the past 6 years, hasn't paid his fucking mortgage. Because they're like, I thought we paid the house off. And they're like, dude, this dude's still been paying a mortgage on your fucking house. And by the way, he hasn't even been paying that. And Paulie's line here, when he's just like, it's not me. It's this fucking guy over here who duped me. He says, when they go to meet with the lawyer, he goes, I thought I was doing smart business.
I'm not taking the heat for all this. I thought I was doing smart business.
Leave it to the drunk Philly Dago to be like, hey, thought I was doing smart business over here. You got fucking Bernie Madoff.
The part that blows me away with this is how it's just like, you took all of our money, Paulie. What did you do? And Rocky's like, hey, what's going on out here? Our money's all gone. Oh, what do you mean, Paulie? I thought I did the right thing. And then he runs out of the house, and it's like, well, we can't hurt Paulie's feelings. I guess all is forgiven. It's never brought up again.
And by the way, we gotta like auction all of our shit. We gotta sell the house. We gotta auction off the bike, all of our shit, just to pay off the bills that we have, the millions of dollars that we owe across the board. So now we have nothing. We gotta move back to the shithole in Philly. That all of a sudden, listen, just because you move back to a shithole in Philly doesn't mean you can't clean the fucking place. That place is fucking dirty. Okay, I know you can't hire like maids and shit anymore, but fucking sweep, okay? But you're gonna have this dude move in with you?
Yeah, and when you actually are moving in, he's going, hey, isn't it good that I kept the old place? No! That's another stupid fucking thing you did. And I'm just going to throw this out there for everyone.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi kids, Uncle Corey here. Let's have a chat about cash. Okay?
Let's do it.
You can have anything you want. Like morals and faith and all this fun stuff. This world that we all currently are fucking spinning around fucking the universe in right now runs on fucking money. So when you, as the owner of all of this wealth, allow a fucking subhuman moron to come anywhere near your accountant or any financial decisions where he's in a place to decide to keep a house, sign over power of attorney, discuss with a member of the family if he can have $10 to go to McDonald's that day because he already spent his weekly allowance. None of that is acceptable. And if you allow it to happen, whatever happens after that is 100% your fault.
You were correct.
Sly has already tackled the CTE issue.
Mhm.
He's already tackled the promoters ruining the sport and stealing, the boxers' money.
Yep.
Now he's tackling the athletes going bankrupt because of bad business deals, and I mean, those are three huge topics
And
in the world of sports.
this is what impressed me most, and I think we talked about this too, with this storyline of him going broke and Duke coming in trying to tempt him to come back for this one fight and make a big payday, et cetera, et cetera. That story would not have been heard by the audience Rocky V was able to get if they had made it the stereotypical Hollywood black kid from the streets, raised up by, this white savior who's here to save you,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get you out of this. Like, they could have made the Mike Tyson story, because that's literally pretty much what that is.
Yeah.
But they did it in a different way where I think an audience that is typically more tone deaf to that situation is now more like they're more on Rocky's side. You know what I mean? It would have been, well, you should have had an education, son. That's not our fault you lost your money. Where it's this, it's like, dude, Rocky's like the nicest guy in the world, and people stole from him and bad business decisions. Like, how could you do this? And now this big promoter's coming in who's loud and the complete opposite personality of Rocky, trying to bait him into this fucking brain damage inducing fight.
Yeah.
Like, it really is a great story.
You were right.
And let's face it, in Rocky 4, Rocky's not as punchy as he was. He's a little bit smarter. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Rocky also knows his limitations.
Mhm.
Rocky doesn't seem like the guy that's like, yeah, give me those papers, Paulie. Let me sign that right there. Rocky's looking at Paulie and going, go fucking show that to Adrian. She signs all the papers.
And Adrian would have chastised Paulie and probably beat up Rocky for allowing that conversation to happen without her present. Yeah, she is controlling all aspects of this.
100%.
And here's something else that this movie covers that was way ahead of its time, is the participation wokeness trophy fucking bullshit that we do with our raising kids today. Because Adrian, I'm pretty sure, is still breastfeeding this boy. This is the biggest pansy ass mama's boy
we'll touch on it.
Ever met in my life.
We'll touch on it because now that they're
be clear, and I want to make this clear because one, I know for a fact Sylvester Stallone watches all of these fucking reviews. Anybody does a review on one of his movies, he watches it. That's a fact. But to be clear, I am not talking about Sage Stallone as a person. His character.
The character,
I
yes.
don't want Sylvester Stallone coming to Toledo and knocking me the fuck out, which he 100% will.
That's where they're filming the next season of Tulsa King.
Exactly. Hey, we want you to come on and write a couple episodes for us. Really? That's great. I come on set. Hey, I'm here to write. Oh, get this fucking jerk off out of here. Hey, I'm done with this guy.
I'm finished with this guy.
I don't blame the kid. The kid should have never been cast in this movie.
No,
this
not at all.
was a vanity project for Stallone to work with his son. Lots of fun. You should have never done.
You were correct.
They go see the doctor. The doctor here basically says, yeah, you got brain damage, guy. He still wants to fight Kane to get them out of like the hole that they're in, but Adrian convinces them to retire. So this is where they like sell all their shit and they move back to Philly. And to your point about Rocky Jr., they're walking him to school and like it's him and Paulie and they're giving him like really, really solid advice. Hey, don't get scammed. And his son is like, again, the character, not Sly's son.
Yep.
is such a I'm still on mama's teat kind of. Oh, you mean a deception? You don't know what a fucking scam is? You're 13 years old.
Excuse me. Huh?
You're saying beware of deceptions.
Yeah, that's good. Absolutely. You're very smart, you know.
Stop reading James Joyce, you fucking asshole. You're a kid. Be a kid. Even if he went to private school, those little shit asses are running scams.
100%. He was probably one of them.
Yeah, this kid's like, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
What do you mean, father?
Yeah, you mean there is a story about a man bit by a spider who becomes a hero? What? A Spider-Man, you say? What is this tomfoolery? I shan't have it.
But you know, his dad's a big famous boxer, yada yada. So he goes to the Philly Tough School of Toughness, and he gets his shoes, coat, and his hat taken by fucking E from Entourage here, and he gets the snot beat out of him, gets his fucking shit stolen, and Rocky could give a shit less, because this is where Rocky meets Tommy Gunn.
Oh yeah, that's where he gets the son he always really wanted.
Exactly. He gets the son that can actually fight.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi kids, Uncle Corey here. If you're a kid watching this and you see a ginger fat kid walking towards you, fucking run. They're the school bully. Every time. Every time.
You were right.
After this is where Rocky meets Tommy Gunn. Duke is still keeping after Rocky to fight Kane. Adrian jumps in, tells Washington to kick rocks. And this is where like Rocky opens up Mickey's gym, and he's training Tommy Gunn, right? Tommy Gunn comes in, is like, "Hey, I want you to train me." And he literally spars like a caveman, right? And this is kind of for me, this is where the movie goes off the rails.
Every scene Tommy Gunn is in.
You made this point earlier. I love that you're like, hey, what's always been my thing? Get a guy who looks like the boxer. I didn't say get a fucking boxer, because boxers can't act. At least that one can't.
You were correct.
He is the most terrible part of this movie. And the one scene that demonstrates that for me more so than any other is right after he is like, "Hey, can I spar?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah." And he gets in there and he beats the fuck out of this guy, doesn't listen to Rocky, who's told him to stop about 800 different times.
Yeah.
Rocky's like, "Dude, what are you, fucking crazy? Like, you gotta stop." And he's like, "Yeah. So, hey, you want to train me or what?" No. No. Not only can you not pause in a sentence and for a line that should have been delivered appropriately, you're fucking tone deaf and regular deaf, because I told you to stop and you didn't listen.
No, I'm sorry, but I know I can do it all. Yeah? Well, not on this date, okay?
I would tell you this, because it doesn't take much convincing for Rocky to actually start to train him after this scene. Because he meets him out back. He's like, "Oh, you know what, kid? You're pretty persistent, even though I don't know what that means." So he invites him over for dinner at his house. And where I went, oh, God. They're telling the story, and Tommy Gunn goes into the story because Rocky Jr. is like, "Hey, I got my fucking coat taken from me from E, and he beat me up and yada yada." So they're all giving him advice, and Adrian's like, "You shouldn't ever fight and use your words." I'm like, you're in like the bad part of Philly. The bad part of Philly is it's comparable to like somewhere like the bad part of Iraq. Like that, it's the same. It's comparable. So, but yeah, use your words, totally. So they're all like giving him advice. And then Tommy starts talking about his dad. This story is the worst, because he goes and he drones out. He's like, my dad used to beat me and beat up on my mom. And like, this is a very like heavy story. And it's delivered with such, I don't know, caveman precision. Like, this is a scalpel kind of story, and he's just bashing it with a fucking hammer.
He tells it like a guy who doesn't believe it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Like, if I'm actually like in this scene and I'm listening to this guy, my improv moment is, "Hey, Rock, can I talk to you in the living room real quick?" "Yeah, check this out. That fucking guy is lying his face off.
Yes.
That dude's from Nebraska. His parents are fucking Republican. They own like 17 farms. Like, do not believe a thing this corn-fed fuck says. You see how pretty those curls are in his hair? That's conditioner. That's Purell. That's 1990s Purell. That's the shit, yo.
That's VO5 hot oil treatment is what that is.
Beat out how soon, cousin. Stay the fuck away from this kid.
100%. Dude, Clarence lives at home with both parents, and Clarence's parents got a really good marriage.
And I apologize for those James Joyce fans at home. I mean, he's running a deception.
Yes. Yes.
No James Joyce fans watch this show.
No, not at all. But after this, Rocky really starts. This is where Rocky is like, oh my God, I got a hard on for Tommy Gunn because he's the son I've always wanted. Screw this kid, screw my wife. He just ignores everybody. And it goes right into the go for it montage where Tommy Gunn is crushing dudes, winning fights, and Rocky's his manager. And we also have shots of Rocky Jr. training with like Paulie and other dudes at the gym.
Yeah. That's what Paulie trains the smart kids.
Yes.
Rocky trains fighters.
Yes.
Like, oh, kid, you want to train at the gym? I didn't even know you were here. Literally no clue.
No clue. He's there in every scene in the background doing like knuckle push-ups. Rocky has no fucking idea.
No. His kid is literally the best boxer in this gym. He doesn't remember he exists. He looks at Tommy and he goes home and he goes, "Hey, Adrian, why does our kid have blonde hair? It's really weird."
You got black hair? I got black hair.
Maybe the kid spent too much time in the sunshine, man. I don't know.
I thought we named him Rocky Jr. Keeps asking me to call him Tommy. I don't know why. But we discussed this. Rocky 1 through 4, right? Yep. The montage comes up even in the Creed movies, in the Balboa movies. All of this entire franchise is built on the montage and the music in said montage.
Yep.
None of these movies miss the mark, except for this one. Okay, listen, we get it. CTE, promoters, fucking all of this shit, right? That Sly was ahead of the game on. He went, rap music's really good. You want to put some really shitty rap music in our montage? This is the only montage in this entire goddamn franchise where I was deflated after the montage. I wasn't ready to like go beat up a Russian or like go running down the street with like a log on my back.
Yeah, this would have been where I would have said it's appropriate for No Easy Way Out to be playing. Because once you cast Tommy Gunn, there was no easy way out. No montage was saving you.
You were correct.
Yep.
But after the montage, we get Rocky Jr. beating the fuck out of E at school, taking his shit back.
Yeah, you fucking ginger bitch.
Corey, this seems personal.
No, I've never had a problem with the ginger. You fucking bitch.
Well, you
Give
want
my
some?
jacket back, you fucking. You don't even know, bro. We're gonna fucking swell up now. Jack, let's go.
But Rocky Jr. This is my favorite part of the movie because obviously, Rocky Jr.'s been doing knuckle push-ups and he's training with Paulie because, that's who I want to train me. But he has transitioned from the posh, if you will, to this common Philly street tough. He's got the earring, he's beating the fuck out of E, and now they're best friends. And they gave him the worst earring known to man for this movie. But also, like, he went from, even when him and Rocky are talking, like, and this is the Christmas scene comes up where he's just like, Dad, you don't understand me. But he goes into this whole thing with his dad. And at the end of it, they're like kind of making up and they're walking back home. Mm-hmm. And his dad's like, let me tell you a joke. And he's like, okay, Dad, would you tell me a joke? He literally went from like, oh, Father, well, you mean a deception? And now he's like, oh, look at my fucking crazy rad ring. It's fucking dope, isn't it? Like, his whole fucking demeanor, his speech pattern changes, the whole nine.
My favorite thing in these older movies now, being 90s, 80s, is when adults cast street thugs and then the costume designer, who's also an adult, comes in and just gives them the most ridiculous of bullshit accessories to wear. It's like, dude, this kid's got a cross hanging off his fucking ear that comes down to his goddamn hip. It's insane. It's attached to his wallet. That's how long that fucking chain is. The cross is actually attached to his wallet.
Oh my god. Dude, the costume designer who dressed this fucking kid was the same costume designer that dressed the thugs in Police Academy 3.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and she was 90 when she dressed the cast of Gettysburg. Like, that's what she understood. She made her bones on Gettysburg, and then she just got that union contract.
I'm surprised she didn't give him like a Newsies hat. Like, yeah, that's what the street toughs wear.
Do up.
She gave him a leather jacket that said T-Birds on the back.
Now go out and sing about the summer. That's what street toughs do these days. No, but this was insane. What I loved about this scene also, aside from the earring, was where Rocky's trying to talk to his son. Everybody leaves. The girl asks, "You ain't gonna hit him, is you?" Well, if I am, I'm gonna fucking hit you too. What are you gonna do?
You ain't gonna hit him, are you?
No, I ain't gonna hit him.
But anyway, so Rocky, he's talking to him, and he wraps around the fucking light post where the kid's smoking. Haven't you ever smoked, Dad? And then Rocky leans in and kisses him on the neck.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And I'm like, you know that ain't Adrian, right?
You can't.
2 hours later.
Dude, the kiss on the neck was what the fuck? Like, that shit came out of fucking nowhere. I never saw him kiss Adrian on the neck.
No, he just teaches her how to sing doo-wop. The doo-doo-doo-doo. Then he gets up to his son. He's like, you know, when I had money, I used to fly to this island, but I can't go there no more, so quit smoking. I don't like the way it tastes on my lips.
And
this
by the way,
fucking out of control.
And by the way, Rocky Jr. what, you never smoked before, Dad? Yeah. 3 scenes ago when we were walking to school, I was fucking ripping a heater. And you were like, oh, you started smoking? What are you, fucking stupid too? What the fuck can we do? Are they not teaching you anything at the fucking School of Hard Knocks down the road?
Right? And I love how Adrian has turned this kid into the biggest fucking puss that's ever lived. And yet Rocky is the one who's dependent on fixing on it. It's all Rocky's fault because he's ignoring him. No, you made him a sensitive fucking Sally who's worried about his goddamn feelings. That's not how this world works.
Yes.
Shape up, butthole.
Or
Like, this
ship
kid
out, buddy.
sucks. This kid sucks. I'll fucking pull up my high waiter's pants. I'll put on my old man glasses. This kid fucking sucks.
You were right.
Going back to it though, also kissing your kid on the neck, fucking ew, dude.
No, that's not, listen, there's some baller moves. That's not one of them.
No, dude. My dad might have caught a jab. Legitimately, he tried to kiss me on my neck ever. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
That gave the most Tom Brady vibes ever. Okay.
Watch how you talk about my quarterback now.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
This is all during Christmas. This is when Duke comes in because, he's been in Tommy Gunn's ear and he shows up with like Christmas presents and he's got Tommy with him. And Tommy tells Rocky here that he's signing papers with Duke the next day. And Rocky can go pound sand. And he peels off and is like fucking Chrysler LeBaron. And he acts like he just got a fucking Rolls Royce.
And if you think Tommy's acting is bad when he's just being, a guy.
Tommy, yeah.
It's really bad when he becomes a petulant child.
Yes.
Rocky, I fucking hate you. Here's what I don't like on people, okay? Is a mullet that's blonde and those fucking lips.
But it's my where's the highway.
The combination of his face and his hair grossed me out.
Yeah.
Fucking period. You know who I felt the worst for in this whole movie? The redhead that had to fuck him.
I think she was just acting. I don't know that she had to do it in real life.
I don't know. All I'm saying is
she did. She's dead.
She never looked happy ever.
No, she looked pissed all the time.
Yeah, because she had some fucking Cornhusker on top of her, just like. And the whole time she's going, Jesus Christ, I hope I don't get fucking pregnant.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
Tommy then fights Union Kane, beats the piss out of him to win the championship belt. Rocky has this like CTE meltdown as he's watching the fight on TV. And Tommy in the post fight thanks Duke instead of Rocky. The crowd boos him. Yeah. And Rocky goes into like the CTE sadness, and now he's like super depressed, and he's still not paying attention to his kids, his kid or his wife, even though he promised that he would.
Facts. And I think this was a total alpha bro move by Tommy Gunn.
Yep.
Total alpha bro.
Yep. 100%. That, and I'll be honest, during this scene, I was like, oh God. Oh, like I totally forgot about this scene where Rocky's hitting the heavy bag as they're cutting back. This, I'll say this. This scene is fucking brilliant.
Yes. 100%.
How they shot
Paulie
you got
jumping like that. Like,
yeah,
that was really good.
That, you know what? The whole Paulie jumping thing, it led me to believe that it was improv by Rocky.
100%.
And like he just hit the heavy bag, because that, to me, if that's acting, that's the fucking best acting ever, because that looked like an honest response.
Yes,
to like,
everybody.
What the fuck
all the shots of everybody look like they just pooped in their pants.
Yes. Because he is violently hitting the bag as this fight's going on, and you see like Tommy taking the punch and then Rocky hitting the bag. Like, this scene was jarring. Like, it was a really good scene.
Oh yeah, it was great. And just, I also like how it does demonstrate though that Tommy is still using everything Rocky taught him.
Yeah.
Like, that is the only way he's getting this title, is fighting like Rocky.
Yeah, because he was fighting like a gorilla before.
Exactly.
Like when he first shows up at Mickey's gym.
Yeah, exactly. And I love too how this transitions then into the post-fight press conference where Duke has clearly stalked the reporter pool with his own people, trying to gaslight Tommy. That same fucking reporter who was trying to gaslight Rocky at the very beginning is back, and that starts the cattle, I can't even think of the word, the onslaught for Tommy about the questions about Rocky and blah, 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 which, dude, that would fucking incense me too, but you kind of get drawn back into like, oh yeah, Duke doesn't want Tommy, even though Tommy is a real champion and will take on anybody. You want Rocky. You've always wanted Rocky.
That's the big payday.
Yep.
That's where I get to steal everybody's money.
Yep, exactly.
And skip out of town like Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
This press conference is fucking crazy.
It's insane.
It's the best. And they're just like, what a piece of shit you are. Like, listen, in all my years, you know me. You love sports. I love sports. I've seen a million press conferences. I've been at press conferences. Never in my days have I ever seen anybody go fucking this bonkers in the peanut gallery. Like, as big a piece of shit as Don King was, as a lot of these other guys were, even if they're all plants, like, bro, you got to pump the brakes on some of this stuff. Because there's like ESPN guys in the crowd, and they're like, so he was a paper champ, and you ain't shit, and fuck this guy, and fuck you too, and if you don't fight Rocky, who's 100 now, you ain't shit. Like, okay, guys, let's all fucking pump the brakes. Did everybody jump into the fucking whiskey bottle before this press conference?
Right. I'm Charlie Steiner, ESPN Boxing. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
The bottom line is Tommy Gunn beat a second-rate fighter with so much glass in his jaw he ought to be a chandelier.
It looked like the White House press briefing room when Monica Lewinsky sucked off Bill Clinton. That's what that looked like. Just a fucking steaming pile of shit heading your way. It was wild.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, I was watching this and my jaw was on the ground. I was like, yo, Sly wrote this. This is fucking bonkers. But
well, this was also around the time when paparazzi was really starting to get out of control. Diana and all her bullshit. All of this was starting to spiral out of control right around here, where the press, in all honesty, was getting a little big for their britches.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like, this 100%. Is where it
100%.
started getting way out of control. And like, well, we're entitled to, you ain't entitled to shit.
Exactly.
You fucking hack. Go back to your 1-bedroom apartment and eat donuts, you fat fuck.
And between that got a little personal.
I'm not a big fan of some reporters.
Corey just woke up in the middle of that and was like, oh, where am I? What, we're doing a review? Cool. But between the press conference that goes fucking sideways and Duke gaslighting him with the other reporter behind the scenes, Tommy, like, they're like, you got to fight Balboa to get any real credit as a champion. So he tells Tommy to go dog out Rocky. Do whatever he needs to do to get him to fight. So this is when he goes to the bar. And Paulie and Rocky are like grabbing a drink. Duke, Tommy, and a camera crew show up to challenge Rocky to a fight. And my favorite part is, again, bad acting time, where he says, accept the challenge or you're yellow.
Now you accept the challenge or you're yellow.
It's 1990, folks. He said, accept the challenge or you're yellow. And he doesn't even say yellow. If you're going to say yellow, you got to say it with an A at the end or an AH. Ah, you got to like really accentuate that. Yeah.
Check how you're calling somebody out, cowboy.
Yeah. He said yellow. After he tells Rocky he's yellow, Tommy punches Paulie in the face and knocks him out. And Rocky gets big mad here. And these are my two favorite lines in the movie. I love these two lines.
You knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now? No. My ring's outside.
Yeah? Let's do it.
And you almost felt bad for Tommy Gunn because it's like, dude, you're about to get fucked up.
Yeah. No, this now. So here's the thing. So those are my two favorite lines, and my rings outside is a great fucking line.
Mhm.
But they go outside and they brawl in the street while this camera crew records. The whole neighborhood comes out to watch this free fight that lasts way too long, where Rocky gets even more brain damage here.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing I didn't like about this, we've talked about how Rocky 5, it's the worst movie of the franchise, yada yada yada. Rewatching it this time, it's not there's a lot of really good stuff in here. They needed to recast Tommy Gunn. It should have been somebody, it should have been an actor. Just get an actor in there that could really deliver these lines. And I think it would have, that by itself, I think would have made this leaps and bounds better. You got to have the fucking title fight, man. You can't have the brawl out. You could have the brawl outside. You could do it like they did with Mr. T. You have two fights in the movie. You have the one fucking brawl outside, and then they fucking take it to the ring or whatever the fuck. Because all this to me screams, you got Adrian like, no, I know it's going to be a $6 million payday. And back in 1990, that might as well be $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do it because you got brain damage and you're going to fucking, you could die in the ring and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? He just got into a fucking hour-long fight with the actual champion who can fight and got more fucking brain damage. Worse than padded gloves, okay? He's getting slammed in the cars and in the street for fucking free. And you're thrilled as fucking shit at the end of this movie like, oh, my guy, you fucking won. Yeah, he won, and you're still poor. That's what I didn't like about this movie.
I did agree with you when we first talked about that. And then I thought about it for a little bit. Because, again, Rocky's bringing up CTE in this, right?
Yeah.
He's bringing up Duke ruining boxing. The reason he can't box anymore is because of his brain damage. He can't take another fight. They won't medically clear him to take another fight. Duke says there are ways we can get around that. We can go to here, we can go to there, but they won't actually sanction a legitimate fight. I don't think Sly wanted to, pun not intended but recognized, he didn't want to give boxing a black eye by having a brain dead fuck who everybody won't medically clear go in and just dominate another fight. Even if he pulls it out barely.
No, I know.
Do that
and I get that. And believe me, I do dig this. This is a great fucking street fight. If we're talking about just movies.
It does go on a little long. Like it goes like 4 rounds. Like that's insane.
Yeah. Now, again, another great line in this.
Yo, Tommy! I didn't hear no bell.
Another fucking great line. Again, he hits 3 bangers in a row at the end of this fucking movie.
You were correct.
I was gonna say the movie actually, and the movie could have ended there. You could have just rolled credits.
It should have.
They actually, they end the movie with Rocky and his son climbing up the stairs to the statue, and then to Corey's point, from every Rocky movie, well, except for 4. For the first 3 Rockies, where he's running up the steps and you got the art museum in the back and yada yada, Rocky literally delivers the line that you've been saying for however long we've been doing these movie reviews.
Yep.
He acknowledges the fact that he's like, I didn't even know there was a museum back here. And I'm pretty sure in Rocky 5, when the people in Philly saw Rocky 5, they were like, there's an art museum back there.
And then his son goes back to all the way posh and goes, you're going to love Picasso. You think he's going to understand Picasso?
Oh,
start him with water lilies.
Yes.
Where it's just like, oh, there's a pond and there's frog lilies. I get it. Keep it simple. You don't need a woman with fucking 4 eyes and 3 tits on fucking deconstructed fucking paper to figure out, like, does Rocky know art? Here's a hint.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No.
Side note, he might like Picasso because his brain's so fucked up, it might all actually mesh together like one of those illusion paintings where he sees like a penguin or something. It'd be really exciting for him.
Oh my God, dude. I will say this. I hope everybody, and I literally mean everybody that requested this movie, enjoyed this. As much as, surprise, surprise, as much as I enjoyed watching it, because I thought this was a terrible movie for 30 years. However long, 35 years, however long ago this movie fucking came out. It's not as bad as I thought it was. There's bad aspects. The Tommy gun should have been recast. Listen, I get it. You want to work with family and friends, and sometimes family and friends isn't a great idea. They should have recast his son. And I think if they did those two things by itself, I think the street fight wouldn't have been as big an issue for me at the end of this. Because I think the rest of the movie, because, dude, all the way up till he meets Tommy, this is a really good movie. It's right when he meets Tommy where it just kind of goes off the rails a bit.
Yeah, I will wholeheartedly say this. Every time I watch a Sylvester Stallone movie, and I mean like one of his babies, like a Rocky or a Rambo kind of thing, I am typically very impressed with him. And this did not disappoint.
No.
Surprisingly, again, going to for the benefit of hindsight, being older, having had some money in a good job and losing that money in a good job and wondering how you're going to support your family and having to have a family member go back to work when they didn't used to have to. I get all of that now from a different angle. Me, when I saw this last, no fucking, that wasn't even a comprehension to me.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't understand what he was going through with that. The CTE, again, we brought that up numerous times, was never even registering for me. I didn't get it. I probably called you the R word if you had CTE back then. That's who I was. I was that person. So, like, then, you go over to Rocky alienating his son and trying to get up and then getting mad at Adrian because she won't shut the fuck up, but then has the balls to go get her old job back. And
yeah,
like, there's so much in this. And setting up Mick, which was amazing, is Burgess Meredith coming back for that little cufflink thing with Rocky Marciano. That was a beautiful scene, and it was really hit home with Rocky's transition of like trying to be a manager and taking on Tommy as Mick took him on.
Yeah.
It's just like all of it is so fucking good. The biggest problem with this film is you cast your son to play your son. That was a bad move. Whether you were directing this or not, it's your franchise. That director was never going to give your kid notes.
Yeah.
So you needed an actor. Tommy Gunn, I would have rather seen Burgess Meredith's corpse play a 20-year-old fucking heavyweight fighter than Tommy Gunn. It would have been far more believable of a performance.
Yeah.
So
I would have rather them recast Dolph Lundgren as Tommy Gunn in this and just have us suspend disbelief. Like, oh yeah, it's Dolph. He's Tommy Gunn.
You could have cast Jaleel White. I would have been fine with it in the prime Urkel days.
Let's just make a list of people who we'd rather see in this movie as Tommy Gunn than Tommy Gunn.
John Goodman.
Roseanne Barr. I'd rather see Roseanne Barr.
Donald Trump. I need a manager. I'm pretty good. Pretty good. My dad hated me. Hated me a little bit. A little bit of hate.
But yeah, no, dude. I mean, You're right. This movie gets a lot of hate. This is like The Godfather 3 as far as different franchises go. Like a lot of people,
yeah,
they just fucking hate this movie. The people that love the Rocky franchise despise this movie. This movie, this time through, actually paying attention, is 1,000 times better than I thought it was. And you know what? You talk about the Rambos, you talk about Rocky, you talk about some of the other stuff Sly has written. The dude can write. The dude can write a good script. I'll give credit where credit's due. I know I think you brought it up in one of the other Rockies. Like, people have a hard time separating Rocky from Sly. They're like the same guy, this big, dumb, dopey fucking Dago.
Yeah.
Dude's smart. Dude can write a goddamn script.
Oh yeah, like he's definitely one of the more impressive people in Hollywood when it comes to do it all and just actually continuing to do what you want to do. I mean, these are all projects that you want to do, which is what everybody in life wants to do professionally.
Yes.
So, like, nothing but love for Sly. And I'll leave it with this. Just because this is the worst movie in the franchise doesn't mean it's a bad movie or should ever be compared to Godfather 3. This, for me, is more like Alien 3. It missed on a couple of different parts.
That's fair.
But it's right fucking there. Like, it's really close.
That's fair. That's fair. I like that. We'll end it there. For that guy, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1990's Rocky V.